Well, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about all those forces outside your business that can either make you or break you. And more importantly, how you can stop getting blindsided by the future and actually start shaping it. So let's just kick things off with a pretty direct question. In a world that is always changing, how fit are you really to handle the unexpected? And this isn't some theoretical question. It's the #1 challenge for every leader out there today. Because here's the reality. The pace of change is picking up speed. And if your whole strategy is just to react when things go wrong, well, you're already behind. The name of the game has shifted from reacting to anticipating, and a lot of managers are just getting caught completely off guard. So, how do you get ahead? How do you actually start anticipating what's coming next? You start by building a map. Not a roadmap, but a map of your entire operational world, everything that exists and happens outside the four walls of your company. Okay, first things first, let's get on the same page. When we say organizational environment, what are we talking about? It's literally everything outside your organization that has the potential to impact it. Could be a new competitor, could be a new law, could be a cultural trend. If it's outside, it's on the map. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This map isn't just one big, confusing mess. It has two main layers. Think of the general environment as the overall climate, the big, slow-moving forces that affect everyone. The task environment, on the other hand, that's your daily weather forecast. It's the stuff that hits you directly, day in and day out. All right, let's start with that big picture, the climate we were just talking about. We're going to break down this general environment into the 6 massive forces that are shaping your world, whether you see them coming or not. First up is the international dimension. This is all about events happening in other countries that can create huge new opportunities or, some pretty scary threats right at your doorstep. And here's the bottom line. In our world, geography just doesn't mean what it used to. A new competitor can pop up from halfway around the globe. A whole new market can open up overnight. The truth is, every company is a global company now, whether they like it or not. Next up, and it's a huge one, is technology. This is all about those scientific and technological advances that can completely reboot society and your business, seemingly in the blink of an eye. I mean, just think about it. 20 years ago, a lot of this stuff was science fiction. Now, things like Wi-Fi and the supercomputer in your pocket are just the baseline for how business gets done. And we're seeing it happen all over again with generative AI. Right? This force never, ever sleeps. Of course, technology is used by people, which brings us right to the socio-cultural dimension. This is all about the demographic makeup, the norms, the customs, and the values of the people you're trying to sell to and hire. And this quote just nails it. Who your customers and employees are going to be in 10 years depends entirely on the trends we see today, in age, in education, in what people believe in. If you ignore this, you're basically flying blind into the future. Now for a force that everybody feels right in their wallet, the economic dimension. This is simply the overall financial health of the country or region where you operate. And listen, these aren't just abstract numbers you hear on the news. They hit your business directly. Consumer purchasing power, that dictates if people can even afford your stuff. Interest rates, that decides if you can afford to grow. These are the economic vital signs you have to be watching. This next one is basically the rule book for the game of business. It covers all the government regulations at every level, plus all the political stuff that's designed to influence how companies act. This can be anything from new privacy laws to local zoning codes. And finally, we have the natural dimension. This is a massive one, covering everything that occurs naturally on Earth, from our natural resources to our climate itself. What's really key to understand here is that the natural environment doesn't have a voice of its own. The pressure to protect it comes from people, from customers, advocacy groups, and even smart managers who realize that investing in cleaner tech is just good business. Okay, so those are the 6 big picture forces, the massive ocean currents shaping your industry. But knowing the currents isn't enough. You also have to navigate the other ships and, the sharks that are right next to you. So let's zoom in from the climate to the daily weather report, your task environment. These are the 4 key players in your day-to-day drama. You've got your customers, the lifeblood of your company, your competitors who are always looking for a way to eat your lunch, your suppliers who can be your greatest partners or your biggest headache, and finally, the labor market, your ability to find the talent you need to win.
And this is exactly why you have to pay constant, almost obsessive attention to these relationships. A sudden change with any one of them can throw a huge immediate wrench in your plans. This is where your agility is really put to the test.
All right, so we've mapped out the big picture climate and the day to day players. So what? What's the ultimate payoff for going through all this?
And this really gets to the heart of it. This whole framework, it's not just an academic exercise. It's a tool to get you and your team to think differently. It's about shifting your entire company culture from one that gets surprised by the future to one that actually anticipates and helps shape it. And that's really what you should take away from all this. Being a great manager today means looking outside your own walls, beyond your daily to-do list, to see what's coming over the horizon. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Looking at that map we just built, which environmental force have you been ignoring?